All right, welcome back to Perdido Key Gaming. Today we're back to some more fantasy board games. This is an oldie but a goodie. Talisman from Games Workshop. They're in with a fantasy flight now too. This is the 4th edition. Been around since the 80s. I can remember playing the original one back then, you know, when I was cruising around the world and playing with friends. This is significantly bigger than the, you know, the box that one came in anyway. But yeah, basically, you know, I'm not sure what the limit on the number of people who can play, but definitely there's plenty of characters for folks to play, you know, different characters for, you know, just about any kind of character you can imagine, magic guys and things like that. There is a app for this. I think I played the app a couple of times, so it's kind of interesting, but, you know, you have to deal with the, you know, this is Elder Signs. I've got Elder Signs somewhere too, but anyway, I haven't played this one. I don't think I've played this one at all. It's been sitting around for a while because, you know, more people are more interested in playing other games. But I have played it. You get, you know, your tokens for your gold and everything like that. You get some adverts, like you've seen catalog from Fantasy Flight Games. They got a bunch of stuff. I think I got this back then, yeah, 2012. And you get your rule book, and you get the big board, which is basically 3 areas: the outer area, the middle area, and the inner area where the quest comes to a halt. And some 6-siders, nice, you know, old kind of relic 6-siders. Counters and things like that to, you know, some of them are strength, some of them are hits, and some of them are magic. So each character has that. You know, despite the fact you're a fighter, you can still kind of cast spells and stuff. Unlike the original game, there's actually little plastic figurines for each of the characters. So that's kind of cool. Then you got your character cards, which come in a little baggie and everything. I think I have played this because it seems like everything's knocked out. But yeah, you got your, you know, your wizard, you got your elf. You can be turned into a toad over and over and over again. The sorceress, the troll, the ghoul, the thief, another toad, more toads, the monk, the warrior, the minstrel, prophetess, the druid, and the assassin, and the dwarf, and the priest. There are expansions, of course, which add more characters and more, like, dungeons and things like that. Dungeon level, you know, dungeon area. And of course, everything revolves around these little cards. The cards that you pick up, that could be monsters, could be followers, could be magic items, could be gold, all sorts of, you know, different things, you know, and it, you know, honestly, it can drag on, depends on how many people are playing, but thoroughly enjoyable. Let's take a look at see how much of the board we can actually see here. Quite a big board. See, you got the outer level where, you know, minor things happen, mostly draw cards, things like that. In order to get to the second area, you have to go past the Sentinel, which, you know, could be good, could be bad, but you have to pass the Sentinel. Or if you make it to the woods and you have an axe, you can build a raft and go across it, which might be better. But basically, you know, when you get to the inner thing, you're doing the same sort of thing, and you're trying to land on this door, which leads into the inner area. And once you get into the inner area, you can only go one space at a time. And the, you know, what might happen, you know, is a lot more dangerous. Dice with death, and you know, werewolf den, and the crypt, and all these things in order to try to make it to get to the Crown of Command. The Crown of Command is basically what is the end of the quest. And once you get the Crown of Command, then that's where, you know, each of the characters start just dying off. So they're trying to you're not only trying to get to the Crown of Command, you're trying to keep other people from getting to the Crown of Command. So, you know, it can be, you know, rather bloodthirsty, I imagine, you know, with all the other people playing and everything like that. But you know, in the long run, it's a lot of fun. It's definitely, like I said, a fantasy board game. The combat rules are pretty easy. You know, basically, you roll a dice, you add your strength, and whoever's the you know, whoever has the highest die roll, and, well, the highest, you know, die roll plus strength wins the combat. The same goes with craft, you know, the magic. You know, you can attack using craft, or you have to attack using craft. Fate tokens, gold tokens, and green ones is alike. And like I said, you gain objects, you can add to your strength, add to your craft. Gain followers, the same thing could happen. You know, there is alignment. Sometimes if you're evil, then if you're good, then things can happen in each of the squares. So you're rolling a dice, you're moving that many points, and you can go either way, left or right, whatever is to your advantage, you know. Fate, you know, you gain fate tokens, you can roll a die for the movement, you can re-roll a die, you can re-roll the attack roll, you can roll a die, do the, you know, if there's instructions on the card that says to roll a die and you don't like what it is, you can spend a fate token. Gain lives, outer region, like, you know, the map, I was talking about the map. Yeah, it's pretty easy. I mean, you know, the enemy animals have a strength, and you know, you've got your strength. That's the way it works. Pretty easy, pretty easy. So of course it goes pretty fast because you can, you know, objects you can carry. You can have no more than 4 objects unless you have a mule. If somebody steals the mule, then you have to leave all your stuff in that particular square. And that's the thing. If you die, you can come back, but all of your stuff is in the square where you died, in the area where you died, so people can come by, scoop up your stuff, and take off with it. So, you know, the spells kind of work the same way, but there's limits depending on your total craft, as it were. But otherwise, it's yeah, pretty basic. Some of these lands, of course, you know, they need to explain what happens in all these, you know, because some of it can be complex. But the Crown of Command, the last space on the board is Crown of Command. You have to have a Talisman, which is where the name of the game came from. If you do not have one, you have to turn back. But once you get to the Crown of Command, you stay there, and then you cast a command spell, and you roll a 1, 2, 3. The spell has no effect. 4, 5, 6. All the other characters lose 1 life. So once you lose life due to the Crown of Command, you can't come back in the games. Once you get killed by Crown of Command. But yeah, there's it's a pretty short rule book, which I guess is good. And then, of course, they have a layout of encounters, the encounter sequence and everything like that. So, but anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it for Talisman. Definitely, go online, see if you. I need to do that. Go online and see if there's a newer version. I don't have any of the supplements or expansions or whatever you want to call it. Much like Catan, I don't have any of those supplements either. But definitely a fun game. I remember having a lot of fun back in the day playing this. Last time I played this must have been, a few years ago. But the rules are, the same as they were back in the 80s. So, that's kind of cool, and it's easy to learn. So that's it.